1 Timothy 6:6-7. But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. Those who choose to follow Christ are assured of an abundant life now and life eternal. But for those who choose the temporary pleasures of sin, they shall be brought to naught. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm heading home early because we've got some exciting things to do with the boat today. We're going to take it for a little ride, but as I'm heading out here, I am certainly surprised at how many people have shown up this year for the Shannon Airport Candy Drop. That's when a plane flies over and all of the hundreds of people that gather with their kids in their Halloween costumes, the candy is showered down from above. Not thinking I'm going to get in there. They're already filling the place up, and so much so that they're having people park at the fairgrounds and the scenic farm near, and they're walking in with Halloween costumes on and kids in tow. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm glad my kids are grown. Of course, we do have grandkids, but they're off going other places to get some of that Halloween candy. Okay guys, we are heading back to the house. I am going to hook up the boat and we're going to take the boat for a test ride. No, not out on the water. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to get the boat out on the water today because we are still waiting for paperwork to be done. Every time I think I have everything that needs to be done, there is some more paperwork that has to be done. So that's why you have not seen the video of the Crestliner 179 XFC out on the water, because I haven't been out on the water yet. So you all just keep tuning in. I promise you we're going to, before we get to fall, well, maybe not, fall is about here, but before we get into winter, we're going to get that boat out there, because I've got to get that motor through the break-in period so it'll be ready for next year, because otherwise I'm just going to have to winterize it and put it on, not ice, but tuck it away and tighten everything down and wait for next year. So okay guys, we are back in the Maverick, and we're gonna back the Maverick up and hook this boat up and pull it, see how she does. We can't get out on the water, but we're gonna see how the Maverick hauls this boat. Does it struggle? Is it easy? Is it hard? We're gonna let you know all of that. Okay, we're gonna do a light check first. Let's put on the left turn signal. Yes, turn signal is working. By the way guys, guess what? Team Backwater already written on the side. Put on the right turn signal. Right turn signal is working. And the right turn signal is working from behind. So, the lights are on. What do you guys think? It doesn't look all that big being towed by that little truck now. I think we're gonna be just fine, so let's get out on the road. I am running a 2-inch raised hitch receiver, and that looks like that's pretty much perfectly level, and that's considering that this is lowered 3 inches in the back and 2 inches in the front. Okay guys, I will admit that I am just a little bit nervous, just because the only thing I've towed on the back of my Maverick is that little utility trailer with that 10-foot plastic boat. So we're going to be very careful, and if I don't talk a whole lot during this video, understand that I'm concentrating on driving and being safe. I locked down the 2 latches in the back on the boat, locked on the front. Safety chains are hooked up. Lights are all working. So I think that is everything. So let's get underway. Now, getting out from behind where I have to put my boat was not that easy. I had to pull up and back out about 10 to 15 times. So when I get back, hopefully my son is at home and he'll be able to help me out. Now we're gonna put this into tow haul mode. We are officially in tow haul mode. I thought it might automatically go into tow haul mode as soon as I plugged in the receiver hitch, but that may or may not be so based on the fact that I did not have the key turned initially in the on position. So I'm not sure. We're gonna go on down here, and so far so good. I mean, I don't feel like it doesn't even feel like it's back there really. Of course, I'm only on flat ground. I'm only in my neighborhood, but that is the actual point of this test. I don't want to get out on the road heading to go fishing and that be my first time driving the Maverick with the boat in tow. So I wanted to get a little acclimated to everything. And the same thing will be true of actually getting out on the water. Don't expect when I get out on the water for the first time to be out there doing a whole lot of fishing. I have actually never driven a full-size boat on a good-sized body of water. I've had my little boats that have had small means of propulsion, whether it was trolling motors or even a small outboard tiller. This will be my first actual, in my opinion or interpretation, a real boat. So it's the first time for everything, and this is our first ride. So let's get up a little speed and get out on the road. And so far, I am surely impressed. I don't know, I guess because I drove the boat back, pulled it with the F-250, that I expected to feel some kind of way in my small truck. And so far, that's not the case. I will say this, all of you guys who intend to do maybe something similar or even the same thing, make sure that you give yourself plenty of extra distance for braking, because obviously your Maverick, no matter what model it is not going to stop on a dime when you're towing 1,700 pounds. And for you guys with the 4K tow package, same thing. It is not going to ride like it did when you were cruising around with your family in here. But so far, I am really not intimidated or feeling any kind of way. It is just doing what it does. The hardest thing I did was get this thing hooked up and pulled from the backyard. So I'm going to allow myself plenty of time to pull out because it is very busy today out here traffic-wise. So I love pulling stuff like this for all those guys who have F-150s and talk all kinds of smack about the Maverick. It's not a truck. You need a real truck. You need an F-150. And I get that. Some of those guys who have these big trucks and need a big truck, I've had a big truck. And man, I'm pulling this thing. I mean, I'm stepping on the gas and it's going just like it does when I don't have anything on the back. So far, I'm tickled pink. But yeah, for all those guys who hate on the Maverick, don't knock it until you try it. So yeah, I don't see where this is going to be any problem whatsoever. It's pulling down the road fantastically. I really, honestly, in my personal, unprofessional yet experienced position, do not even feel it on the back of it. And I don't know why. I guess, you have a lot of things run through your mind and you don't want to mess up. And you have an audience that you run through all kinds of scenarios in your head. What if? Sometimes you just got to get out there, take your time, be safe, and try it. Now, I've had a fairly large boat, 1754, pretty much the same length boat as this, that I pulled with my Ford Edge. I had a Ford Edge one time, and it pulled that boat pretty good. It had a V6 engine, but we never had any issues, and I don't expect to have any issues with this either. Eventually we ended up trading in our Edge, and I ended up getting a Expedition. And once you get an Expedition, yeah, there were no worries at all, because in fact the boat was almost like it wasn't back there in that big truck. Yeah, I'm cruising right along, no issues whatsoever. So we're just going to make this quick loop. I'm not going to drive very far. I'm still waiting for paperwork. I thought all my paperwork was done. I intended on maybe getting out on the water next week, but based on what I've heard from our Department of Inland Game and Fisheries here in Virginia, there's another piece of paperwork that they require, and I have been back and forth, and a lot of it is not their fault. Some of it's been my fault. There's been if you want to start blaming anybody, there's all kinds of blame to place anywhere you want to place it. But the bottom line is, we're not going anywhere until we get all the paperwork back and done. So that's where we are with this deal. Oh, so this is one of those very busy intersections. We get the green light, praise the Lord. All right, they're doing a lot of construction here. I live near a place called Ruffin's Pond, and we've looked over there the past few months or so, even when we had a lot of rain, and noticed that it was very, very low. And for all of us guys who have fished there over the years, that was troubling, because I'm like, wait a minute, that is a prime fishing area. Why is it so low? Apparently, they have built houses around that area, and what they're trying to do is make it so they can raise and keep the water level raised, and fix the area around the lake, pond, or whatever you want to call it, because they're selling those properties as waterfront properties. And if it's only mud in there, if all you see is stumps, then most people are going to consider that a swamp. So I'm sure they're doing a lot of work to make it so that it looks more presentable to those people who are there trying to sell these houses to as waterfront properties. So we're going to make this next turn up here, head on back to the house, and I'm going to make a small attempt to try to get the boat back where I got it from. I'm not going to make any stupid mistakes trying to do that. I'm going to make sure that I wait till my son gets home, because if I had him with me earlier, I wouldn't have had to stop, get out, pull up, stop, get out, pull up, stop, back up, all of that. I would have been able to just, hey, let me know if I'm getting close. You need somebody where I'm at, that where I can basically have a spotter to help me get in and out. So yeah, I know some people are like, why don't you put it in your garage? Well, let's just say when my mom and dad died, a lot of this stuff we kept in storage for almost a year. And let me tell you this, if you're paying over $400 a month for storage for stuff that may or may not be worth more than $4,000 or $5,000, then you are wasting a whole lot of money. So as soon as I get a lot of that stuff sold and out of my garage, I'll probably, if it'll fit, it's going to be close. It's on my boat is itself is 17.7, but then you got the motor on the back. Now my garage is 17.5 inches long, which tells you that the only way it's going to fit in there, I'm not going to be able to back it straight in. I'm going to have to caddy corner it in there when I put it away. So will that work? I do have a swing tongue, so that helps, but we're going to have to wait and see on that one. If not, you know, I can keep it locked up in the back. It's not a huge deal, but it's definitely not convenient because it's a bear to get it out of the back. I think this time I'm just going to back it in where it is, and if the homeowners association gives me grief for doing that, then give me grief for doing it, because I'm not going to make a special effort to, you know, pitch it all the way behind at the risk of, you know, tearing up my lawn and also possibly scraping my house on the way out of there. So yeah, this tow mode is really doing what it's supposed to do. Helps slow everything down. But yeah, very stable. I'm impressed. So let's get this baby backed up back into the yard and call it a day. Hope all you guys are voting out there. This is a very important election that we have before us. And I don't like to talk politics on here. Haven't really done that. But if you don't vote, don't complain. This guy sees me coming down the street, towing a boat, and she can't wait till I go by. Sometimes. And that's probably the biggest, I won't say fear, let's say concern. Because God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love and power and a sound mind. And because I have a sound mind and people drive like they don't have any mind, lets me know that I don't need to be afraid, but I need to be concerned, because some of these folks cannot drive. They have a license. I don't know what the license is for, but it's not always, I think, to drive. So let's see how professionally I can back this in. Maybe I can hit it on the first try. But it's going to be fairly easy because everybody at my house is gone except for me. So I don't have anybody's car in the way. So all excuses have been removed. Let's get her done. Good thing I moved my boat just in time, because the mailman is coming down the street. This will be a first time of me backing her up. All right, Team Backwater is almost ready to actually get on the water. Remember to like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.